Imagine a state where the mind becomes as still as an ancient mountain lake, its surface so pristine that it mirrors the cosmos without distortion. This is not merely a metaphor, but the very gateway to understanding Zen Buddhism, a path that transcends the boundaries of conventional wisdom and invites us into the realm of direct experience. The essence of Zen cannot be captured in words or contained within the pages of sacred texts. It flows like a mountain stream, ever present, yet constantly renewing itself in each moment. Here, in this space of profound simplicity, we begin to glimpse what the ancient masters understood. Truth is not found in the accumulation of knowledge, but in the immediate experience of being. Consider how we typically approach understanding: through books, through teachings, through the endless accumulation of concepts. Yet Zen offers a radical departure from this path. It suggests that the very act of seeking creates the distance between us and what we seek. As the morning mist dissolves in sunlight, so too must our preconceptions dissolve into direct experience. This union of the profound with the simple is perhaps Zen's most remarkable characteristic. In the space between breaths, in the pause between thoughts, we find a depth that no philosophical treatise can adequately describe. Here, discipline and spontaneity dance together in perfect harmony, creating a path that is both rigorous and naturally flowing. For those seeking enlightenment, Zen offers not a ladder to climb, but an invitation to wake up to what is already here. The truth of our nature, like the ground beneath our feet, has never been absent. We have only to open our eyes and see, with the clarity that comes when the mind ceases its endless chatter. In this opening section of our journey, we lay the foundation for understanding, not through intellectual grasp, but through a kind of knowing that emerges from the depths of silence. The path of Zen is not about adding to what we are, but about removing the veils that obscure our true nature. It is about returning to a simplicity so profound that it contains all complexity within it. As we venture deeper into this exploration, remember that each word, each concept, is but a finger pointing to the moon. The real journey begins when we move beyond the pointing finger and turn our gaze to what it indicates: the vast, luminous reality of our own true nature, ever present, ever peaceful, waiting to be recognized in the simplicity of this very moment. Let us proceed with both reverence and curiosity, knowing that the path we're about to explore is not a journey to a distant shore, but an awakening to where we have always been. In the words of the ancient masters, the treasure you seek is the treasure you already are. Imagine standing at the banks of the Ganges, where sacred waters have witnessed countless seekers' transformations. Here, in the mystical heart of ancient India, the first ripples of what would become Zen Buddhism emerged from the profound silence of the Buddha's awakening. Like dewdrops reflecting the entire cosmos, his realization contained seeds that would flourish across continents, transforming as naturally as water adapts to the vessels that hold it. As we trace these wisdom streams flowing eastward, we discover how truth, like water, finds its way through any opening. Along the ancient Silk Road's winding paths, where merchants' caravans carried precious goods between civilizations, an even more precious cargo made its journey: the living Dharma. This was no mere transmission of ideas, but a river of direct experience carving new channels through the landscape of human consciousness. When these waters met the deep well of Chinese Taoism, something remarkable occurred: a marriage of spiritual insights that would birth Chan Buddhism, the predecessor of Zen. Enter Bodhidharma, the azure-eyed sage, whose presence looms like a mountain in Zen's landscape. Picture this extraordinary being crossing the treacherous Himalayas with nothing but his resolve, carrying a teaching so profound it could only be transmitted through silence. His legendary 9-year wall meditation at Shaolin Monastery stands as a testament to the unwavering dedication required for true insight. Yet within this apparent stillness, a revolution was brewing, one that would transform spiritual practice from ritual repetition to direct confrontation with the nature of mind itself. In the moss-covered stones of ancient Chinese temples, Chan Buddhism took root and flourished like a lotus rising from murky waters. Here, masters developed the art of transmission beyond words, using shocking gestures, bewildering riddles, and sometimes just profound silence to crack open their students' conceptual minds. Each generation added its own flavor to this stream of wisdom, like tributaries joining a mighty river, until the essence of Chan became as clear as mountain spring water and as mysterious as the source of that spring. But perhaps the most remarkable transformation awaited in Japan, where a young seeker named Dogen would dive deeper than anyone before him into the ocean of Dharma. Imagine a mind so vast it could contain paradox without confusion, so clear it could reflect reality without distortion. Dogen's journey to China and subsequent awakening under Master Ru Jing represents not just a geographical crossing, but a breakthrough in human understanding of time, being, and practice itself. His teaching that practice and enlightenment are one fell like spring rain on the fertile soil of Japanese culture, giving birth to a tradition that would influence not just meditation, but every aspect of life, from the way tea is served to how gardens are tended. The river of Zen continues to flow through time, neither losing its essence nor remaining exactly the same. Like water taking the shape of different vessels while maintaining its fundamental nature, Zen has adapted to each culture it encounters, while preserving its core insight. That truth is not found in words or concepts, but in direct experience of this very moment. Today, as these ancient waters meet the shores of contemporary consciousness, we stand at a privileged vantage point, able to trace these historical currents while drinking directly from the source they reveal. In this living stream of wisdom, we find not just historical events, but a map of consciousness itself, showing how truth moves through time and space, transforming yet remaining essentially unchanged, like the reflection of the moon in 1,000 different pools of water. Each ripple in this great river of Dharma invites us to dive beneath the surface of our ordinary understanding and discover the depths that have always been here, waiting to be explored. In the infinite spaciousness of Zen understanding, we encounter a truth so immediate that it precedes thought itself, like the space between breaths or the silence between heartbeats. This truth cannot be captured in the net of language, yet it reveals itself in every expression of life. Here, in this boundless field of direct experience, we discover what the ancient masters pointed to when they spoke of seeing into one's own nature. Consider the morning dew gathering on a blade of grass. Each droplet contains the reflection of the entire sky, yet remains utterly simple and undivided. Similarly, Zen philosophy suggests that every moment of experience, when met with complete presence, reveals the entirety of reality. This is not a philosophical proposition to be debated, but an invitation to taste directly what lies beyond the grasp of conceptual mind. When Dogen speaks of time being inseparable from existence itself, He's not offering a theory, but pointing to the living reality that unfolds in each breath we take. In this vast garden of understanding, paradox blooms like night-flowering jasmine. The more we try to grasp its fragrance, the more it eludes us. Yet when we simply remain present, it permeates everything. The great masters understood that truth reveals itself most clearly when we cease trying to capture it in the butterfly net of concepts. Instead, they invite us to step into the stream of direct experience, where the knower and the known dissolve into a single taste of awareness. Here, in this seamless reality, we discover what has never been lost: our original face before our parents were born. At its heart, Zen philosophy is not a collection of ideas, but a mirror reflecting the nature of mind itself. Like the surface of a still lake at dawn, when all ripples have subsided, it shows us what we truly are beyond all our accumulated concepts and beliefs. In this reflection, we find neither philosophy nor anti-philosophy, but the simple, profound truth of being itself, as natural as clouds floating in the sky, as ordinary as drinking tea, yet containing depths that no amount of intellectual understanding can fathom. In the garden of Zen practice, every movement becomes a dance with the infinite, every gesture a brushstroke painting reality itself. Here, amidst the seeming mundanity of daily life, we discover the extraordinary hiding in plain sight, like moonlight that has always been reflecting in a pond, waiting only for us to pause long enough to notice its luminous presence. Consider the tea master, who moves with such presence that time itself seems to pause, each gesture a revelation of eternity in motion. The tea ceremony, Chanoyu, becomes not merely a ritual, but a window into the absolute, where the simple act of serving tea transforms into a dance of consciousness with form. In this sacred space, the whisking of green tea becomes indistinguishable from the whisking of the mind into clarity, each movement a sutra written in the language of presence. Within the heart of Zen arts, we find a profound paradox. The more thoroughly we submit to form, the more completely we discover freedom. Watch the calligrapher's brush dance across paper, leaving traces of emptiness in its wake. Each stroke emerges from a place beyond thought, where the artist's hand becomes an instrument of something vast and unknowable, yet intimately familiar. These are not mere aesthetic pursuits, but embodied koans, questions that can only be answered through the body's direct knowing. In the rock gardens of Kyoto, where sand is raked into waves that never move, we encounter stillness that speaks more eloquently than any sermon. These gardens are not designed to please the eye, but to stop the mind in its tracks, creating a space where the infinite can peek through the finite. Each carefully placed stone becomes an anchor for consciousness, a reminder that the extraordinary lies not in what we add to reality, but in what we allow ourselves to see when we cease adding anything at all. Yet, perhaps the most profound expression of living Zen unfolds in the realm of ordinary tasks, where enlightenment wears the disguise of simplicity itself. Washing dishes becomes an opportunity to witness the play of light on soap bubbles, each one a complete universe reflecting all other universes. Sweeping the floor transforms into a meditation on impermanence, where every stroke of the broom reveals the mind's tendency to gather dust and its equal capacity to release it. In this practice of presence, even the most mundane moments become saturated with significance. Walking between meetings becomes walking between heaven and earth, each step a confirmation of our fundamental inseparability from the ground that supports us. The sound of traffic transforms into an urban sutra, where the chaos of the city reveals itself as another face of cosmic harmony. Here, in the heart of everyday life, we discover what the ancient masters meant when they spoke of finding enlightenment in the marketplace. Through this lens of awakened perception, we begin to understand that there has never been any separation between sacred and ordinary. The Buddha nature that sages and mystics point to reveals itself most completely when we cease looking for it elsewhere and discover it right here, in the texture of this very moment. As one Zen master said, after enlightenment, the laundry, not because the laundry needs to be done, but because the laundry itself is enlightenment. When we touch it with awareness that recognizes no boundaries between self and other, sacred and mundane, extraordinary and ordinary, in the profound silence of meditation, where breath meets awareness and form dissolves into emptiness, we encounter the heart of Zen practice. Zazen is not merely a technique, but a portal to reality itself, a return to our original nature that has never been lost, only obscured by the clouds of conceptual thinking. Like a temple built of consciousness itself, the posture of Zazen creates a bridge between heaven and earth. The spine rises like a mountain, reaching toward sky, while rooted deeply in earth. Hands rest in the cosmic mudra, forming a perfect oval that mirrors the shape of the universe itself. Here, in this carefully crafted vessel of the body, we discover a silence older than time, a knowing deeper than thought. Each breath in Zazen becomes a thread, weaving us back into the fabric of reality. As the chest rises and falls like waves on a vast ocean, we begin to sense the rhythm that moves through all things, the cosmic dance of form and emptiness playing out in each moment. This is not a practice of achieving anything, but of allowing everything to be exactly as it is. In the space between thoughts, where awareness rests like dew on morning grass, we encounter what Zen masters call the face before your parents were born. This original nature, unconditioned and ever-present, reveals itself not through effort, but through a kind of holy surrender, a letting go so complete that even the one who lets go is forgotten. Thoughts arise like clouds in the vast sky of awareness, neither grasped nor rejected. They pass naturally, revealing the boundless space that has always been their true nature. This is shikantaza, just sitting, where doing and being merge into a single taste of reality, undivided by the knife of conceptual thinking. In the heart of Zen practice, we discover that time is not what we thought it was. Each moment opens like a flower, revealing infinite petals of now, each one containing the entirety of existence. As Dogen realized, time itself is being, and all being is time, not as a philosophical concept, but as the direct experience of reality unfolding in its suchness. When we truly enter the present moment, we find that it has no edges, no boundaries, no beginning or end. Like stepping into an endless ocean, we discover that this very instant contains all moments, all possibilities, all of existence in its infinite unfolding. The eternal now is not a point on a timeline, but the vast space in which all timelines appear and dissolve. Here, in this boundless present, the searching mind finally comes to rest in what it has always been seeking. The seeker and the sought dissolve into a single taste of pure awareness, like a snowflake returning to the ocean. This is not an achievement, but a recognition, a coming home to what has never been absent. As the sun sets on our exploration, casting long shadows across the temple garden, we understand that every word spoken about Zen, has been like a finger pointing to the moon. The real teaching lies not in these words, but in the space they create, an invitation to step out of the stream of thinking and into the ocean of direct experience, where each moment is a new beginning and every breath is the universe coming to know itself anew. In this eternal now, we discover what the ancient masters meant when they said, "From the beginning, not a thing is." All paths converge in this moment, all teachings dissolve in this awareness, and all questions find their answer in the simple fact of being itself, complete, perfect, and utterly ordinary. In this eternal dance of existence, where each breath bridges the finite and infinite, may you discover the profound truth that has always been here, as close as your own heartbeat, as vast as the boundless sky of awareness itself.